All right, guys, I'm here with Bernard Lee. It's almost difficult to introduce him because he's done so many things in poker, but we're here to get his take on poker success. And Bernard, I think one of the most impressive things about you that I've taken notice of is just your consistency over the last, we're celebrating 10 years.
I appreciate it, yeah.
That's phenomenal. And I think consistency is just one of the best traits if you're going after anything,
Right.
which I don't know how you feel about that, but
Well, I've tried to do that. I think that I was very fortunate in 2005 to do what I did, which was finish 13th in the main event.
right.
It was my first World Series main event. Not my first main event ever. I had played in a couple of WPT main events, but it was definitely my first World Series main event. And by the way, it was very different back then, right? I mean, ignorance is bliss. Not knowing any better.
Yeah.
It was also a very pre-flop game back then, right? No one wanted to see flops. There weren't things like that. But I will say that I was never behind when I got it all in for my tournament life.
That's what it would be.
And they all held, and so that's amazing if you think
Yeah.
about it. Because in today's world, my jacks lose to queens all the time. I mean, jacks
you have
lose
to
to
win
not.
12, 60, 40s
Exactly.
to get there.
Yeah, well, I was never worse than a 70-30. I will tell you. Every time I always had a big all in that got me up the ranks.
Right,
I had a great first 2 days, etc. But after that, I didn't just. I really caught the tournament bug back with Moneymaker, right? So the Moneymaker, I've been playing poker all my life, but the Moneymaker effect really got me on the tournament bandwagon. And then after I did what I did in 2005, I really felt like, I think I might be able to do this. And with a little prodding and with a little poking, my wife went, not so sure about this, but I was suddenly asked to do some media stuff. And what happened was PokerStars, who I qualified through, asked me to write kind of a synopsis of what happened. And they were expecting probably 1 or 2 pages of here's what happened.
Yeah, very cool.
It was almost like a cathartic experience where I wrote 27 single-space pages.
Man, that's awesome.
And it became like an 8
epic,
or 10-part series that people, and back then you have to remember, there weren't
wasn't that,
blogs
yeah.
and things like this.
Yeah,
and
none of that
so
was out there.
a lot of people were writing, this is a really cool story, you might want to read this. And there were comments all online and 2+2 and all that stuff. And the next thing you know, the Boston Herald contacted me saying, would you like to write a weekly column for us?
Wow.
Next
Okay.
thing you know,
Jeez.
ESPN.com contacts you saying, would you like to be one of our columnists? You just turn around and go, what are you talking about?
What just happened?
Like, So, as they jokingly say, I'm the most famous 13th place finisher in the World Series main event. And some people say, please don't take offense to that. I don't take offense to that. I think it's a badge of honor. I really do.
Oh, for real.
And I'm very proud to have taken my career from a 13th place finish. And everyone thinks I final tabled. I don't think anyone who said, what year did you final table? That's what they always say. And I've not only done that playing-wise, where I'm going to throw out stats, but six wins, over $2 million in career earnings, 3 WSOP final tables, things like that. But I'm also doing it on the media side, where, as you said, 10th anniversary. Thank you for wearing my shirt. I appreciate it. 10th anniversary of my radio show, which I'm very, very proud about. We were named one of the top 5 poker podcasts that you have to listen to last year. I'm very proud to say that I'm almost positive I had more November Niners on than anybody out there. I only didn't have 3 on, 2 because of language, 1 because he, for some reason, thought I was going to give away his strategy. And I even said, we don't have to talk about strategy.
There's none of that,
But didn't want to come on. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But we're very, very pleased. And I'm fortunate. I work for ESPN, so obviously I have access through that. But also, I play professionally for the last over a decade. And I have made friends with a lot of these people.
That's the best part about poker, I think,
Right.
is it's just so tight-knit.
I think also what's cool is that when one of these players wins a bracelet or wins a big title, that I know it's very simple. I don't have to go through anybody.
Yeah.
I just pick up my
Shoot him a
phone and
text.
say, hey, John Racner, you just won your first bracelet. Would you like to come on my show? Hey, Motion Charania, would you like to come on my show? I'm very fortunate to have Chris Moorman. Would you like to come on the show? Hey, Daniel Negreanu, you're at a final table. Good luck. Things like that. I'm fortunate that I can do that and talk to these people and they come on my show, and it has been a fantastic ride for the past decade, and I'll be honest with you, I hope it continues for another decade and more.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So other than the podcast and playing professionally, I know you do a lot of other things. I know you have a big giveaway actually that's going on right now, right?
Yeah, so for the 10th anniversary, we really wanted to make it special. I have been so fortunate to have really tens of thousands of listeners listen to our show, Twitter followers, about 10,000 Twitter followers, Facebook, Instagram, etc. So we really wanted to thank all the listeners for doing what that have created the show and the interest. So we're doing a 10-month celebration for the 10th anniversary. Every month we are giving something away, and we're giving 10 of them away. Every month we have a special guest, and we're also giving away 10 random prizes throughout the 10-month period. And we're giving over $10,000 worth of prizes away. I guess
I was going to say, right? Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we gave away 10 T-shirts the first month. The second month, we gave away 10 $410 seats to an event at the Borgata. In December, we're giving away 10 $350 seats to a charity event that I'm vice president for. This charity is called the One Step Closer Foundation. It's going to be held in Las Vegas. It's in its 10th year as well.
Oh, that's perfect.
So we're giving away 10 seats. It's a great event because we get a lot of not only players there, and also first prize is $10,000 guaranteed. Second prize is $5,000 guaranteed. That's a huge for charity events.
Yeah.
But we get some really
bonkers.
Great guests. Montel Williams has hosted it. Cheryl Hines. We've had Jose Canseco, Lawyer Malloy. Jennifer Tilley comes out many years. Jamie Gold, Joe Cata. And so we have some great people who come out. People who follow Breaking Bad. RJ Mitty comes out very often. So it's a great event, and we're also giving away those seats. And so we're very fortunate that we want to celebrate the 10th anniversary. And as I said, I'm hoping I'm doing this 20, 25 years.
Yeah, I hope you are too, man. So we'll definitely throw a link down in the description to check that out for Bernard's giveaway.
Yeah.
So as I think a lot of the moneymaker era poker players have aged, obviously, in the last 12 years, something that is very interesting to me, and I know a lot of my friends who started around the same time as I did when that happened in 2005, playing poker and balancing family has become a more ubiquitous issue.
Sure.
And I think even being a poker player by yourself can be pretty difficult.
Sure.
So how do you do that with a family added into the mix?
Well, it's not easy first, right? And
I don't think either of them
also
would
have
be
to
easy.
have a partner that is incredible. I mean, I really have to say that, and I give my wife all the credit in the world, because I'm different than some of these other players. And it's funny because I interviewed Greg Merson recently, and he's gotten married right after the World Series. And when he won his main event, he was 25 years old, and he wasn't engaged. And now, 5 years later, he's married. Jason Mercier, during his incredible run, EPT, etc., he wasn't married. Now he's married. So you're seeing all of these players who were single and making huge strides now suddenly getting married, and in a few years they're going to have families.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't start out that way. I had a family.
Yeah.
So, I've been married 21 years. And when I got married, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I have an MBA. I was working in marketing and new business development. My wife, poker was not in the equation. I didn't go to school to play poker, where a lot of kids dropped out of school.
Right, a lot of people
poker.
kind of did back in that.
My parents didn't pay for my Harvard education so I could go play poker.
Right.
That wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
And my wife didn't marry someone to be a professional poker player. But to my wife's credit, she has cautiously supported me the entire way. And I actually dedicated my books to her, saying that. that she's been, I think it was cautiously supportive, and I forget what the other one was, but she's been great. She really does support it. What she has always said to me is, don't change my lifestyle. And we don't have an extravagant lifestyle anyway. But she's always been like, please don't make me.
Just know when.
If I want to go out to dinner one night, please say, don't tell me we can't.
Right,
if I want to buy a sweater from, whatever, LL Bean or whatever, please don't say, oh no, we can't afford that right now. So she's just never at, and my wife works. She's a physician, so it's not like she doesn't earn money as well. So I'm fortunate in that side. But
you don't tell her how many big blinds things.
Yeah. She doesn't. She's only come to one. She actually came to one WSOP final table. She actually flew in for it, and literally sat on the sidelines with a book and read.
That's why. Yeah. So many of my friends are just like, oh, we'll come out to Vegas. We'll watch you play. I'll be like, you'll be sitting there for 5 minutes and then want to shoot yourself.
Well, I said, did you like watching paint dry? I always tell people.
Exactly.
Somebody said like, oh, can I come watch you play? They're flying into Las Vegas and said, are you going to play? I said, well, yeah, I'm playing on the weekend. I go, oh, can we come watch? I said, well, can I ask you, do you like watching paint dry? And they said, what? I don't understand. I go, I'm just asking you the question. Do you like watching paint dry? No. I go, well, that's what you're going to be watching. I mean, it's not like they.
You can't see the cards of
right. Exactly. Right, yeah. It's not like WSOP when Norman Chad is joking about what's on the side of what they have. It doesn't work that way. So, but the kids are older now. That's the one thing. When I first started out, they were 0 and 2, and when you leave for a week and come back, they blink their eyes and they didn't know you left.
Right.
But now my son's 14, my daughter's 12. My son's a freshman in high school. My daughter is in 7th grade, so it's a little different. And I will say it's going to be a little bit more challenging as my kids start playing sports in high school, and they're both starting to play. And I'm not going to miss their games. I'm going to say that right now. So there will be
the priorities straight. It sounds like
there will definitely be times this winter that hopefully my son will be playing, and I'm not missing a game. And if that means that I'm going to have to not be on tour for 3 months, and maybe I'll have to only play on weekends nearby, well then so be it. Because I will tell you, there will be a poker tournament every single month, every single week somewhere. But I've got 4 years for my son in high school.
Exactly.
I've got 4 years, my wife and I said, I've got 4 years left with my son before he leaves. And I've got 6 years left with my daughter before he leaves. And I feel I've been very good about staying at home as it is, because I don't really work. When I'm home, I'm home. But I don't want to miss those years. And I'm going to be there for him, and I'm going to see every single one of his games, and I'm going to follow him around, and I'm going to watch all of my daughter's games, and I'll go to all of her swim meets and that stuff, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy that. And if I miss some tournaments and I don't win another title or whatever, so be it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's much more important.
Bigger things going on. Yeah, for sure.
Much more important for me.
So tell me about these books that popped up behind us here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just suddenly showed up. So I wrote for the Boston Herald for 7, 8 years. It was a weekly column. It was in the sports section, so obviously a lot of people read it. Actually, a good friend of mine now, Donnie Wahlberg, who lived in L.A. When I first met him at a charity tournament, I was doing a charity tournament for him for his brother Mark Wahlberg, and I was emceeing it. He came up to me and goes, I read your column every single week. And I was a little surprised because he lived in LA, but he said, I open up the BostonHerald.com every week, and that's the first thing I read. And so that was really cool.
Yeah, what a compliment.
Yeah, it was a real compliment. We've become friends ever since. And I got a lot of people over the years saying, wow, I'd love to see your other columns. So, they might have started reading at year 3 or 4 or whatever. I'd love to see your other columns. Well, after you hear that over and over and over again, you're like, wow, this is maybe I should put these together. Yeah. So what we did was we put all the columns on one side, and then on the other side, I write down notes of, by the way, I played against this player in this hand, and it was during the 2012 World Series main event. And then maybe we talk about an open-ended straight draw. And then we talk about, on the other side, we talk about the odds. So we go a little bit more in depth on the left side, whereas the right side was just literally the column that we put in there. And it was received extremely well. The first book, I think we went to third published. Like, we sold out the first 2 right out of the gate.
That's
so many people loved it. I wrote the second one shortly thereafter because a lot of people were interested. And boy, we got a lot of people asking for volume 3. But
Yeah.
I will tell you, it is a lot of work.
Writing
Especially-
books sucks.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, especially I'm self-publishing it too, so you don't have somebody else editing it over your shoulder. I did have 2 or 3 people who are good friends editing it as well, but
Oh, that's good too.
but it's a challenge.
It's hard to
And-
find a poker editor.
Yeah,
in
well,
my-
I
in
had
my
a good friend.
experience,
He's multiple degrees, and he and I were very good poker friends during college.
yeah,
so
that's-
he was
that's
a
nice.
perfect person.
Yeah.
My wife did the non-poker editing kind of stuff. So, but it's hard. I mean, it's really, really hard to get it done. And I actually had volume 3 all outlined and all that, and then just realized I don't want to do the 200 hours worth of work. So let's just move on
Yeah,
from there.
yeah, it's crazy. You're just like, like.
Yeah, so we're very fortunate. I'm very pleased with them. You can get them. You can go to my website bernardleepoker.com, and then you can get them there. And we did a book signing this summer at the World Series, and I've done some seminars and done there. So it's actually a really nice thing to have on your resume. I really enjoy them, and you know the way I think about it is that this isn't a strategy book per se. But it's a lot of different hands, how to play different hands, etc. I think of it as one of 2 things. One, if you want to say in the nice way, a subway book, right? You go from stop to stop, you're on the subway for about 5 minutes, you get to read 2 or 3 columns.
Yeah.
The little cruder way is, as a lot of people have said, this is a perfect bathroom book because
Yeah.
you can read a few
It's a different
and then
visual.
just put it on the side. Yeah,
Right.
different visuals, both sitting down. But I've enjoyed it, and we've gotten really some great response for it, so it's worked out well.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Bernard, thank you very much, man. It's been an honor speaking with you.
Sounds good.